I just believe that there are times to be conservative, there are times to be liberal, and so she is doing that, and I think that that's why you see such a broad base of support for her. The progressives love her, conservatives respect her. She is the quintessential American.
I'm sorry, a what? What kind of an American? There's the leadership of the Democrat Party in the United States Congress. And I say conservatives respect her? What, did I hear that part? Democrats don't even respect her. And now, Led Zeppelin. Been a long time since I rock and roll. Been a long time since, well, of course, we don't really know, do we? Since Kamala Harris and her old pal, Willie Brown. When I say old pal, I think you know what I mean. As an old video has resurfaced, that's kind of amusing, that I want to share with you. I will share the audio portion with you because we're on the radio. But the video portion is a lot of fun. I guess we could share this too. We could share this because of Al Gore's amazing internet. Peace be upon him. Blessed be his name. Al Gore. He was there. He was there. The internet was created, and Al Gore blessed it. What is that? PBUH. Peace be upon him. Peace be upon PBUH is what Kamala Harris. Now, there was a kind of a funny moment. Tim Walz, who was Kamala Harris' running mate, and he didn't go to Iraq, and he didn't carry a rifle in combat, even though he said that he did again and again. When you're a Democrat, that's okay, just like Danang Dick Richard Blumenthal, the Connecticut Democrat senator, who claimed again and again he went and fought in Vietnam when he didn't. You know, it was enough. You wore the Marine Corps uniform. That's what you done. Not everyone was deployed to Vietnam. It's okay. It's all right. But he lied because they lie a lot. But here is Tim Walz. This is, well, you know, I want to do this too just because it's a big lie. Let's go to number 6 because Kamala Harris, yesterday, she's on the campaign trail and she's out there. She's got to play the victim. There is the most exalted status in the Democrat Party is the status of victim. You must be a woman, you're a victim. Because America's so weird and all men and so rude and we're all terrible and men are bad and women are victims. So if you're a woman, you're a victim. Never mind that, you know, being an American woman is probably the best position in the world to be. Although I like being a man. I like being an American man, but that's me. That's just the way I am. I'm kind of old-fashioned. But honestly, yet these, you know, college-educated, wealthy American women, what would you rather be, a French woman, an English man? What would you rather be? Come on. But the status of victim is very, very important. And then you're a woman of color, WOC. They like to abbreviate everything. WOC. And then you're a double victim. You're a double. And if you're an LGBTQ WOC, then you're a hat trick. You got 3 victim cards right there. You can whip them around the room all day long. And they love being a victim. And here's Kamala. She's speaking to some, I can't believe she has people show up, but she had some, they probably bus them in, the unions bus them in, they give them free lunches and a stipend of some kind. They do a lot of that sort of thing, the Democrats do. But I've seen it 100 times in Washington, D.C., the unions with long columns of buses, and everybody gets off with their box lunches and their matching T-shirts, and a very corrupt Democrat Party. And the union leadership, so many leaders of so many unions, corrupt as the day is long. But here's Kamala yesterday, and she's got to be, again, she's the sitting vice president of the United States, the entirety of the news media, not just ABC and David Muir and that Lindsay Davis woman. But the news media give her a tongue bath every day, fluffers that they are. And she's been given a free ride basically her entire adult life since she was dating, that's a euphemism, Willie Brown, the Democrat bigwig politician in California. And but here's Kamala campaigning yesterday.
We know ours will be a very tight race until the very end.
Very tight race.
We are the underdog. Let's be clear about that. We are the underdog.
Really?
And so we have hard work ahead of us, but we like hard work. Hard work is good work.
Yeah, we are the underdog. In what possible fashion, by what metric are you the underdog in this race? You're the lady. You're a woman of color, WOC. You're the Democrat, kind of ding, 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 clang, clang, clang went the trolley. And the news media gives you a daily tongue bath, acts of journalistic gratification performed upon you quite constantly. Late night TV is they're all your biggest supporters. Saturday Night Live is your biggest supporter. Comedy Central, which barely exists, is the Daily Show. Name a media entity, journalistic allegedly, or entertainment that isn't promoting you in a media universe, a media-dominated universe. You are being carried around on everyone's shoulders like you just kicked the game-winning field goal every single day. And you're the vice president and you're the underdog? Really? How so? Donald Trump is attacked constantly. When you don't have people shooting at his head, you've got people assassinating his character. And all of that is okay. He's not the underdog in this race. You are. But really, that's completely fallacious and absurdly so. But she needs to find, she's already a woman and a WOC, and now she's the underdog. Because, oh, poor, pitiful me, I just can't. Just amazing. Now, Tim Walz, he was on the campaign trail, too. I guess he's a double underdog because amazing stuff. The Tim Walz, it appears, it's going around on Al Gore's Amazing Internet, and someone said, well, it's a slip of the tongue. But he used a word here, and it's, you tell me what you think he said. Did he call her a prosecutor? Did he call her a prosecutor? Or did he call her a prostituter? Did he call her a prostituter or a prosecutor? Is her own running mate, Tim Walz.
Because this started, and I love this story, as a young prosecutor.
As a what?
Kamala Harris talked about going in that courtroom for the first time.
With the courtroom, you mean the House of Ill Repute? What is it that he said? Because it was, words matter, Tim. And if you're going to call somebody things like that, you should be.
Because this started, and I love this story, as a young prosecutor.
A what? A young prostituter. Now, if you're a prostituter, does that mean that you're a prostitute or a pimp? Because if you're a prostituter, that would be like a purveyor of prostitutes, but I'm not entirely sure.
You're a prostitute.
How about that? That is something. Now, there is, I mentioned the video that has resurfaced on Al Gore's Amazing Internet. And there are headlines all over the world on this video resurfacing. We know that Kamala Harris, as a much younger woman in California, was involved, let's just say romantically, with Willie Brown. No, that's his real name. That's the real name. And Willie Brown, big-time California state Democrat, San Francisco Democrat. And he is he's been around forever as a Democrat political guy in California. And they were dating. I'm making quotation marks with my fingers. They were dating. And he helped to launch her political career. He was kind of her poobah. No, poobah, grand poobah. But I can tell you that the Times of India today has the headline, Kamala Harris's throwback video with Willie Brown viral. Quote, are you his daughter? All right. That's the headline in the Times of India, which is just great. The Sky News Australia headline, quote, are you his daughter? And quote, cringe video resurfaces of Kamala Harris partying with Willie Brown. The Daily Mail in the United Kingdom, so it's India and Australia and the Daily Mail out of the United Kingdom, unearthed ABC News footage from 1995 shows Kamala Harris being asked if she is ex-Willie Brown's daughter in San Francisco. San Francisco, where rice-a-roni used to be the San Francisco treat, but they no more. There really is no San Francisco treat is something that you call the health department over. And the New York Post has the headline, that's in the United States. Kamala Harris questioned if she's daughter of boyfriend. Now, I can tell you in Washington, D.C., this kind of circumstance is not particularly unusual. And the running joke that's been a running joke in Washington, D.C. for decades on this particular matter is, oh, he was out with his niece. They always say this niece. And I've known more than a few men who have said, oh, yeah, meet my niece. It's kind of a little joke. But Kamala Harris questioned if she's daughter of boyfriend, and future San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown in cringy resurfaced video. Future Vice President Kamala Harris made an awkward cameo in an ABC News segment from nearly 3 decades ago that went viral on Tuesday, in which the then California prosecutor is asked if she's future San Francisco Mayor Willie Brown's daughter at the time that the two were dating. And so here is the audio portion of that video that I can share with you, and it appears to be at night in a restaurant, and people appear to be dressed for nighttime activities. And she is, of course, considerably younger than Willie Brown, but Willie Brown is a powerful Democrat Party operative. Now, Kamala Harris, now 59 years old, was romantically involved with Willie Brown, now 90 years old. So he is 31 years older than her, if I'm doing my gazintas correctly. 31 years older, and back, in the mid-1990s, and she was a young prosecutor in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office, and he, by the way, was a married man, and at the time he was the Speaker of the California State Assembly, 31 years older than the young prosecutor. Their relationship reportedly began in 1994, ended sometime in 1995, the year that Willie Brown was elected the mayor of San Francisco after being the Speaker of the California Assembly. In the video, a profile of Brown, it was a because he's a hero. He's African-American. He's a Democrat. I forgot to mention that. He's African-American. And so he's a hero of the Democrat Party by virtue of his race, because they're still guilty about slavery and being the Confederate States of America and stuff, and creating the Klan and standing in schoolhouse doors and Jim Crow. But and the video cuts to her and her then lover as reporter Judd Rose. Judd Rose used to be an ABC News reporter. Notes that the influential Democrat is notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle, and it sounded like this.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women.
Are you his daughter? No, I'm not.
Are you his daughter? And a woman asked, that's not Judd Rose, I don't think. Are you his daughter? She looks around kind of furtively and says, no, I'm not. I am 31 years younger than him, but no, I'm building my political career. This is how Democrats build political careers. So that's a fun video that is now back, and it's making, again, in Australia, in India, the empire, and in Great Britain, the news media all covering the resurfaced video, Are you his daughter? No, I'm not. Well, that's the correct answer. I just date men that are 31 years older than I am, and she's 59 years old now. So how old was she in 1994? dating the man 31 years older. At that time, more than twice her age.
Are you his daughter? No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Yeah, so I got to do my gazintas on that, too. I think at that time, Willie Brown was more than twice her age. Now, again, in Washington, D.C., that's not the most uncommon thing, I must say. You know that the best-selling Eden Pure Thunderstorm Air Purifier uses Oxy technology that helps to quickly destroy a whole lot of different viruses and mold spores and odors, too. And so much more. Listen, thousands of 5-star reviews on Al Gore's amazing internet. It works like a champ. We've got 2 of them at home. I'm gifting one to a friend, maybe even today, I think. Any smell will vanish in just a few seconds with the thunderstorm being on. Odors from litter boxes, trash cans, cigarette smoke, dirty diapers, left-wing protesters. No match for the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. The powerful thunderstorm sends out O3 molecules that seek out and help destroy odors. These molecules go under and behind furniture because nothing can hide from the thunderstorm. And listen, you don't have to buy filters over and over again. You can hold a thunderstorm in your hand. There, I'm holding my hand up. They're only this big. They're about this. They plug them right into the outlet on the wall, and they stay right there, not a piece of furniture. They're great, and you get to start enjoying fresh air in your home, your office. It's great, the thunderstorm. And right now, because you hang out with me, you can save $200 American on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack for a whole home protection, or you make one a gift to somebody as a hint, and you get 3 units for under $200. Put one in your basement, your teenager's room, any place you like to breathe clean, fresh air. And all you have to do is go to EdenPureDeals.com, EdenPureDeals.com. Use the discount code CHRIS3, Chris and the number 3 to save $200. That's EdenPureDeals.com. The discount code is CHRIS3. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, we've got a lot more, too. They just keep shoveling stuff, and we keep straightening it out for you. I'm going to have to update on eating cats. President Trump, another thing he's being attacked for is talking about Haitians. Anything about voodoo? A lot of voodoo going on. And the media, instead of lifting a finger to find out what's going on, just attacks Trump because they're filthy filthies. But I've got updates for you. And this whole Haitian voodoo thing is not new.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
And that was President Trump at the debate talking about, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, the Haitian immigrants. And the news media is very angry about this because they're Democrat hatchet boys and hatchet girls. And again, I shared with you earlier, like the big fake stories that all these crooks are putting out, and the various magazines, the New Yorker and so on, saying, Kamala never said that she would support taxpayer-funded transgender surgery stuff. And Susan Glasser at the New Yorker just making this stuff. She also attacked President Trump. Forget about him raging on stage, which he didn't do, but he mentioned it. Immigrants eating people's dogs. And then the transgender operation, they're going around saying none of this stuff is true, and of course all of it is true. But our news media is the biggest problem. We have the most dishonest entity, the most corrupt entity in America is the American news media. And so we know that in Springfield, Ohio, the Democrats have dumped thousands and thousands and thousands of illegal aliens who they waved their hand and made legal, and dumped people. Again, Springfield, Ohio, with a population, I believe, of 58,000 people. They've had between 15,000 Haitians and 20,000 Haitians dumped on their front doorstep and say, here, deal with it. Deal with it with your healthcare system. Deal with it with your school system. Deal with housing. deal with it with welfare and deal with it with this culture that's completely disconnected from the culture of Springfield, Ohio, right? And there are these great memes going around on Al Gore's amazing internet where music has been added and President Trump making reference to the Haitians. And I've got a lot of stuff to share with you on this, but one of the musical versions of President Trump talking about the Haitians eating cats and dogs. Eat the cats, eat the cat, eat the cat, and it's a lot of fun because there are a couple of different versions of this. This one is raising money and giving it to the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals in Ohio or in Clark County there. And it's President Trump in the video and edited up because, it's an internet world. We're just living in it. But the media says none of it's true, and President Trump is spreading misinformation and disinformation, which the communist bastards that they are, means that it can be censored because they're the party of censorship, and they're anti-Western civilization, anti-founding principles, anti-everything good. But let me tell you something, because I've been collecting stuff on this for a little while now, and there's a lot to say about it. And I did, unlike these fake news reporters, I did some actual research on some of this stuff. And, for example, a story out of Miami, Florida, from 2019 in the Miami Herald. Watch your step in Miami. There might be a severed cow's tongue on your running path. That's the actual headline. That's a catchy headline. Now, in Miami at this point, and they've got a lot of Haitians there too, but at this point they're talking about Africans that have come in under, the usual circumstances, the United States and a refugee, this and amnesty that. But the people there have found, just in this one park, a woman says, I found a bag with rooster's feet sticking out of it and plastic containers full of blood. My neighbors found a tongue nailed to a tree. That's not a problem because, you've got these people are practicing Santeria, right, which is not just a digestive malady. It's also kind of a religious thing. It's disturbing to see these things in broad daylight. I like that line. They're much better at night when you find a cow's tongue or somebody's tongue nailed to a tree. It's better at night than it is at day. How do I explain that to my grandchildren? I'm respectful of any religion, but not when you're performing your rituals in a public place. I'm not respectful of it's the Afro-Cuban religion, Santeria, right? And all over Miami, you have people practicing Santeria, and the people there are talking about finding all kinds of animal parts and killed, sacrificed animals as part of this thing, right? It's pretty crazy stuff, practicing Santeria. And they say, oh, no, it's okay. Remember 2,000 years ago, in the time of Jesus Christ, they offered lambs. Yeah, well, lambs are tasty, though, and, roasted on a spit and all that good stuff. Lambs in the time of Jesus, not quite what we're talking about here, I've got to say. Really remarkable stuff. And my friend in Miami, north of Miami, sent me along a story from 2020 where they're talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Again, in Miami, when it comes to visuals worthy of eternal enshrinement, few places match the city of Miami. And they go on, tan-tone and multi-million-dollar and yachts and all that stuff. But one of the things that they have is kind of crazy religious stuff. And they're talking about finding animal parts in public places. It's not, normal in America. That's why I sell T-shirts and coffee mugs that say, remember normal. But they're talking about voodoo because a lot of people practice voodoo in the city of Miami. They're probably not, coming from generations of Miamians, but in the midst of the yachts and the $1 million oceanfront mansions and all that stuff. They find a lot of, for example, a severed goat head, pigeons with their throats slit, dead lizards with twine wrapped in their mouths, rotting chicken carcasses. And, these last four aren't remnants of an Ozzy Osbourne concert, they say in the story. But pretty remarkable stuff. And that's Miami, Florida. Now let's go to Ohio, because the Democrats have moved thousands, tens of thousands of Haitians to Springfield, Ohio. Why Springfield, Ohio? Why not downtown Manhattan? Amazing stuff. So you got Santeria, you've got voodoo, you've got these things that are being practiced. But if you bring it up, then the news media attacks you. President Trump brings it up, and he's vilified and demonized and called a conspiracy theorist and a liar and all this stuff. The problem is it's not a bunch of conspiracy theory stuff. Now, the governor of the state of Ohio is a Republican of sorts by the name of Mike DeWine, and he's talking about, well, he's got to send millions of dollars to Springfield. He's sending state troopers to Springfield. The driving by Haitians has led to all manner of madness, including at least one little 11-year-old being killed by a Haitian driving car, cars flipping over, cars crashing into things all over the place. Didn't grow up driving. Their parents didn't grow up driving. It's not a driving culture. They do have cannibalism, though, with barbecue and the head gang member of Cannibal Tribe in Haiti. But the Clintons went down there and they fixed Haiti long ago. Really, they were just there for the sex. But here's Governor Mike DeWine talking about what's going on there.
These dramatic surges impact every citizen in the community, every citizen. The moms who have to wait hours in a waiting room with a sick child, everyone who drives on the streets, and it affects children who go to school in more crowded classrooms.
And everything else. Again, fewer than 60,000 people in Springfield. And then the Democrats threw in 15,000 to 20,000 Haitians. Hey, what could go wrong here? Springfield resident Diana Daniels was asked about what she's witnessing.
It's like living in a dystopian nightmare. You hope you wake up and it's 2019 again, and then you realize it's 2024, and it's the same thing over and over again, day after day. It's hard sometimes to get up in the morning and hear residents that I've known for years struggle.
Because the Democrats are fundamentally transforming the United States of America. Springfield residents at the town hall, the city council meeting.
This influx is making it worse for them. Housing is another issue. The overcrowding in housing.
The overcrowding in housing is just one of the many issues. The driving on the streets, the lack of safety, the disappearing ducks and geese from the town's park, the reports, and the Democrats just can't slap this down fast enough, like they did with the Hunter Biden laptop not being Hunter Biden's laptop, right? And the problem is they have a long history of not telling the truth, these people. Can you say these people? I prefer maybe those people in this case. Springfield residents at the town hall meeting, the city hall.
Our frustrations and concerns continue to fall on deaf ears. This community has been begging for help for some time.
You will not get it at the town hall.
The influx here has been a culture shock, to say the least. And I feel like our city is basically being treated like a flop house.
Like a flop house. I loved that soundbite from that sensible man in Springfield, Ohio, at the city council meeting, and a flop house. And the truth is, the Democrats are treating our country like a flop house. And you put a couple on Martha's Vineyard, and what they bring in the military, they bayonet them to death and use them as fish food. Remarkable stuff. Now, a video was posted on Al Gore's amazing internet of a young woman, a lovely and bright young woman who is an American. Her father came from Haiti and abandoned her as when she was a young girl. Her father came from Haiti, and she posted a video now that all this stuff is being talked about. explaining what she learned about growing up, the Haitian culture, and on and on. And I don't have her name, actually, but the young woman posted the video of herself on TikTok talking about her family and what she knows about her father's cultural legacy.
My father immigrated from Haiti to the United States in the late 60s as a teenager. He did say that most of the island, the majority of the island, does practice voodoo.
Voodoo? What? Who do that voodoo that you do so well? The nice Haitian young lady.
The reason they eat cats is for two reasons. Number one is survival. This is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. You can't just go to a food bank like you can here, or just go to McDonald's and get some free or cheap food. Unless, of course, there's a Christian missionary there. People in the United States have a really hard time imagining that type of thing, but it is true.
Yeah, it is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. It's worth noting, and that's why the Clintons went there, probably to steal stuff from people. And why do they kill cats? Because it's you got any of your neighbors do voodoo?
Second, they do animal sacrifices for their religion, voodoo. They make these animal sacrifices to these gods for different reasons. You can do your own research on this. Do I think voodoo is a demonic religion? Yes, I do. That doesn't mean that you hate these people. These people need prayer.
These people need prayers. She's a very nice woman. And I actually, Michael grabbed her name. It's Rebecca Fadiq, right? It's right? Faidiq. Okay. And and she's honestly a very nice-looking person, and she's making herself very clear, and she came out to tell the truth.
But you can't just take over all these people from another country and expect it to work. It's not racist to acknowledge that this is a problem. It's not racist to talk about these things that are happening. This is not just white Americans saying this is black Americans. You can look at the people in Springfield, Ohio saying that this is happening.
Mom, she's got her kid there. Just wonderful. Rebecca did a great job posting this video.
Y'all just want to joke about Trump and say that he's crazy for saying that this is happening instead of actually checking at all to see if this is happening.
Right.
You want to make jokes about these things. Well, what if it were happening to you and your community?
Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. Now, this is what's going on. Got a little Haitian music for you. If you find this in your neighborhood, don't let the cat out. If you hear this music down the street, it's time for the cat to get used to being an indoor cat. Not all cultures are the same, and not all cultures are created equal. And people bring their cultural customs and habits and values with them when they come to the United States. And that's why immigration is a wonderful thing. In proper numbers, and you allow people to assimilate to become a part of our great experiment. But if you throw 20,000 Haitians into Springfield, Ohio, with a population of 58,000 Americans, you should go to prison. But this is what they've promised, the fundamental transformation of America. They never said they were going to make it better. Fun old Santeria song. We've known about this stuff for a long time, but when you talk about it, the news media calls you a liar and they attack you because the news media, unfortunately, can't be trusted. Intellectually lazy, journalistically lazy, dishonest, politically corrupt. Speaking of which, the Biden-Harris administration is expanding the war in Europe. We give the weapons, the bombs to Ukraine and Volodymyr Zelensky, and we give them F-16s, and we give them the means by which they can use these weapons. And now the headline today from the left-wing Politico is White House finalizing plans to expand where Ukraine can hit inside Russia. Now, so we give them the bombs, we give them the planes, and we give them the target list. And you can hit this, but you can't hit that. And Putin is saying The U.S. is at war with Russia, and NATO is at war with Russia, and Putin is certainly not entirely wrong. Our Secretary of State, not Defense, but State, Antony Blinken, is in Poland. And Poland hosts Blinken joins call to lift weapons restrictions on Ukraine so that Ukraine can bomb more of Russia. Now, what are they going to roll tanks into Red Square one day and take over the Kremlin and declare victory over Russia? It's never happened before. It's not going to happen with Ukraine. But there is a member of the European Parliament who is Polish, and his name is Grzegorz Braun. And he's had enough of the Americans and of Blinken.
Blinken, go home. Go home as soon as possible. Get lost. Get lost. We don't want you here. We don't want Polish people paying and dying for your wars. Thank you very much.
The war is expanding, and the news media is enthusiastic about it because they're just front groups for the Democrat Party. And the Democrat Party, the party of war all over the place. Only if you count the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War. Never mind that. But now the Polish member of the European Parliament, Braun, telling him to get out, and we've had enough of your wars, as we give Ukraine new target lists to hit inside Russia.